Ever had that sinking feeling when you're talking to a client that you can't remember that crucial detail they shared last time? You're not alone. In the fast paced world of business, forgetting important client information is a common problem that can cost you deals, relationships, and opportunities. But what if I told you there is a way to never forget a single detail about a client again? Whether it's their favorite sports team, their kid's name, or that big project they mentioned in passing. Hey there, I'm Mr. Huck, and today I'm going to show you how to supercharge your client relationships with AI and automation. We're going to dive into a system I've created. It's like having a photographic memory for every client interaction. Whether you're in sales, consulting, or just looking to network more effectively, this is the kind of tool that can set you apart from the competition. Imagine walking into every meeting fully prepared, recalling even the smallest details that will make your client feel truly valued. This isn't just about impressing them, it's about building genuine, long lasting relationships that can take your business to the next level. In the next 20 ish minutes or so, I'm going to walk you through this game changing system step by step. We'll explore why remembering details is so crucial. I'll give you a few examples, how this automated system works its magic, and most importantly, how you can build it yourself using four tools you probably already have. So let's dive in. Before we jump into the how to's, let's talk about why remembering details is such a game changer in the world of business. Picture this, you're in a meeting with a client you met a month ago, and you're discussing the new project, and you casually mention, "How did your daughter's soccer tournament go? I remember you were really excited about it." Suddenly, your client's face lights up. They're not just impressed, they're touched. Why? Because you remembered something personal about them, something that really matters to them. It's not just about scoring points, it's about building trust and creating connections that go beyond business. When you remember these little things, you're saying, "I value you as a person, not just a client." Now, I know what you're thinking. That's great, but I meet a dozen people every week. How am I supposed to remember all these small details? And you're right, it's a challenge. Our brain isn't wired to store every bit of information from every interaction we have. That's where most professionals hit a wall. They might remember the big stuff, the project details, the budget, the deadlines, but it's those small personal details that can often slip through the cracks. It's often these small details that can make or break a relationship. Let me give you an example of a client interaction I had. So I was meeting this person, and he casually mentioned that he loved the Blue Jays and the team, and it had been going for years. I remember that, and weeks later, I sent him a ticket to see the Blue Jays and the Dodgers play because Shohei Ohtani was playing. And this showed him that I wasn't just another vendor or a consultant. I was someone who listened, who remembered, who cared. Long story short, he did sign with us. So that's the power of remembering the small stuff. But let's be real, trying to remember every detail about every client is a recipe for burnout. You'd spend most of your time memorizing facts than actually doing your job. And that's exactly why we need a system like this. It's a way to capture, organize, and recall crucial details without overloading your brain. So, how do we solve this problem? How do we become professionals who never forget a detail, who always remember the right information at the right time? That's where this automation system comes into play. How does it work? Let me show you. So, how exactly does the system work? You just have to do two things. And the automation process captures, organizes, and recalls every important detail about your client. So let's break it down. The first step is the recording part. Picture this, you've just recorded a great meeting with your client, you're walking out of the office, and the conversation is fresh in your mind. You pull out your phone, open the recording app, and start talking. Just met John from Tech Innovations. He's excited about the new project. Mentioned his son is starting college at MIT, studying computer science. He's a big coffee enthusiast. He talked about the new local roastery he loves. Follow up next week about the project timeline, and stop. In less than a minute, you've captured a wealth of information, both business and personal. Step two is uploading that audio to Google Drive, and that's it, you're done. Once you upload it to Google Drive, your automation kicks into place. Now, when the automation kicks into place, this is where the magic happens. It's going to transcribe your audio and it's going to send it to a chat GPT assistant. The system then uses AI to analyze the transcript. It identifies key points, categorizes the information, even extracts action items in seconds. It transforms your casual voice note into structured, organized data. And then the final step is where the system really shines. All that beautifully organized information is added automatically to your CRM, linked to that specific line. So next time you're preparing a meeting with John, you'll have those things at your fingertips. Imagine starting the conversation with, "Hey, how's your son enjoying MIT? Is he still doing computer science?" Before diving into business, you could say, "Remember that local roastery you were talking about? I would love to get some recommendations about that." This level of personalization isn't just impressive, it's relationship building gold. You're not just another business contact, you're someone who listens, remembers, and cares. This system doesn't just help you with one-on-one meetings. It's also a game changer for networking events, conferences, and any situation where you're meeting lots of people. Let's say you're at an bustling industry conference, you're having great conversation with someone, exchanging business cards, and move on. In the past, these interactions might have been lost in the blur of the event. But with this system, you can quickly record a voice note like, "Just met Jane from Innovative Tech, passionate about sustainable energy, working on a new solar project, mentioned she's running a marathon next month, potential partnership opportunity for green initiatives." Stop, upload to Google Drive, and boom. By the time you're back to your home or your hotel room, all this information is neatly organized in your CRM, ready for a follow up. Jane is not just another contact in your database. She's a fully fleshed out potential partner with clear follow up action steps. The beauty of this system is simplicity and efficiency. You're not just spending hours typing notes, trying to remember details. You're leveraging AI and automation to do the heavy lifting for you. It's working smarter, not harder. But let's take it a step further. Imagine fast forwarding 3 months and you're attending another event. Guess who's across the room? Jane. In the past, you might be struggling to remember, oh, what was the last conversation I had with her? But now, step to the side, pull out your phone, open up your CRM, pull up Jane's contact, and see what you talked about last time. Armed with that information, you can go up to Jane and say, "Hey, nice to see you again. How did that marathon go? I've been keeping an eye on the sustainability solutions your company offered. That's pretty impressive stuff." Boom. You've just reignited that connection with personalized, relevant information. Jane is impressed that you remember these details and you've opened up the door for a meaningful follow up conversation. The system isn't just about remembering names or job titles, it's about capturing the nuances that makes each connection unique. It's these personal touches that can take your networking to the next level. So, without further ado, let's build the system. We're going to use 5 main tools to build our system: Google Drive, OpenAI Whisper Model, ChatGPT, Google Sheets, and Make.com to connect all of them together. Each one of these play a crucial role in our automation pipeline, so let's go through them step by step. First, we'll go to our Google Drive and create a folder. I named it Recordings. So this is going to be our home for our recordings. We're going to upload all our recordings to this folder. Once you've created this folder, we're going to head over to Google Sheets and create our CRM. It's going to be simple but effective. Name the CRM whatever you want. I will be linking this in the description, so if you just want to go ahead and download this, that would be great. Or if you just want to follow along. So each one of these columns has a purpose. Let's break down each one of them. First is the name. This is where the name of the connection will be. Second is tag. We're going to tag the voice recording as either a networking opportunity or a prospect for business opportunities in the future. So the connections column will have names of people who we have a mutual connection with. So in this example, Jackson and I have Edna as a mutual. We would have talked about it in our conversation. So I would have mentioned it in the voice note. Sarah and I did not have any connection, so that's why it's empty. Last catch up date would be the date I last spoke to this person, or either a networking event or a follow up. So this is the last interaction I had with that person. The overdue column is linked to the last catch up column. So, so the formula for this column is if the last catch up and today have more than 45 days between them, it's going to mark it as overdue. So this is an indication for me to reach out to this person to connect again. The company is going to have the organization said person works for. Email and phone are pretty self-explanatory. If they are present, they'll be added here. If not, then it'll be empty. Next would be the interaction sheet. So I've divided them into two sheets. First is the people sheet. The people sheet will just be the information about the person and key details such as email, company, high level details. And then the interactions sheet will have all the interactions associated with that contact. So we have four columns here. I've just put an example here just to show what each column is. We'll have the contact column. Contact column will be the person who the interaction is with. Then we have the interaction column. This is where we are going to add the keynotes about the interaction that are extracted by ChatGPT from the transcript. The action column will have suggestions that ChatGPT has given based on the voice note transcription, and it is going to provide recommendations of what I should do, what next steps would be the best to take. And then the date is when this interaction took place. So this date column is tied back to this last catch up column. So if I have multiple interactions with Sarah, and let's say I have the next interaction on the 16th, the last catch up column will automatically update to the 16th. Now, once you've created this sheet and you have it set up in your Google Sheets, we'll go to make.com and create the automation. So head over to make.com and open your scenario builder. Let's go ahead and name our scenario. Let's call it audio key points CRM. I don't know, this is just something I'm comfortable with. First things first, we have to add our trigger. So our trigger is going to be when a new file is added to a folder. So watch files in folder. Make sure your Google connection has already been established. Next, we're going to watch files by created time. Choose my drive. Next, we're going to select the folder to watch. So we just created this recordings folder. Next, we're going to file type to watch is going to be all. And let's set the limit to 1 since we're going to do this one by one. Let's set this to from now on. Next, we're going to add a module that will download the audio file. So download a file. Set this to enter manually. And let's map on the file ID. This file ID item will be used by this module to identify which specific file to download from that folder. We have a trigger that is going to watch for new files in that folder. Once there is a new file that gets uploaded, it's going to send a signal to this module to download that file. Next step would be to transcribe their audio file. So go ahead and open up your OpenAI module and select the create a transcription whisper. So we're going to use the whisper model. Make sure your OpenAI connection is established. File is just going to be Google Drive, download a file. It's already preset. We're going to use the whisper model because that's the only model we have. Next, we are going to output it into text format. We leave the prompt input empty as we don't want the AI to alter the transcription of the audio at this point. Once that is done, we'll add another ChatGPT module, but this time it's going to be create a completion. What this module will do is it's going to work its magic on the transcription, organize it for us. So let's select create a chat completion. We're going to use the ChatGPT 4o mini because it's the cheapest model out right now and it's pretty good for tasks like this. Next, we're going to define the system. We're going to tell the system to act as an assistant and take the transcripted text and output it into a JSON format. I already have a prompt already built, so I'm just going to paste it here. The prompt is pretty simple. It's you are an intelligent and helpful assistant. You will be provided a transcript from a recording by a user. You will extract the key points. The user might be sharing different thoughts, so help him organize the thoughts. Respond in bullet points, making a list of all the key points in JSON format. Important. This is key because it kept messing it up. So you make sure you add this. Important. If the transcript is missing information that's a typo right there, that does not fit in the JSON, use the value null. Example is if there is no phone or email mentioned in the transcript, set email and phone value to null. We don't want it to make up stuff because AI does have a tendency to add bullshit into there. It doesn't make any sense. Next, we're going to choose the role of the user. So we're just going to define what type of transcription is going to come in and what type of answer we want ChatGPT to respond with. So now I'm just going to provide an example text. This is an example of an audio recording transcript that the ChatGPT model can expect. Next, we're going to use assistant, and the assistant role is what the AI should respond to for this input. It's just an example. So I've added a JSON format of how this transcript should be organized into this. We have name, tag, connection, company, email, phone number, and notes. Next, we're going to add another user. Now we have the system role in place. We have an example of what input the system should expect, and an example of a result that we are expecting. And now we have the text from the whisper model, so we can just plug it in here and boom. Let's set the max tokens to 700 just to be sure. 700. Set the temperature to 0.7. Now this step right here is going to turn our raw transcription into structured, useful data. Once this is done, we'll need to add a JSON parser because we have to map each extracted piece of information into the correct column in our sheets. So let's go ahead and add a JSON parser. So it's going to ask you to choose a data structure. What we can do is just go ahead here, copy this, add, name your data structure something. So let's see CRM data. And you can either add the items one by one or it'll generate it for you. So let's provide it with the sample data and boom. It's created a data structure for us. So easy. With that said and done, just click here. Now it's going to want the JSON response. So we're going to take the result coming out from our pass module and pass it on to this JSON. Let's run this and see. So since we haven't uploaded the file again, let's go ahead and choose where to start. Let's go all and click again. You can ignore this. It took the transcription, extracted all the information out of there into a JSON object, and then we parsed our JSON string into a beautiful JSON collection. Now we can map all these key value pairs onto our columns in Sheets. So next would be the module. Next, we'll add an ChatGPT assistant to create action points and suggestions based on those notes. So go ahead and add a new completion here. We'll use for mini again. Let's define the system as an intelligent assistant. Define the user role. So for this, I've asked it to derive what type of interaction it is. Is it a networking opportunity or a prospect? Then based on those key points and type of interaction, it's going to suggest 3 actions that can be taken to further the relationship. I'll also give it an example. Define the input again. So what I did was I added the name. So let's give it the name. Then let's add type of interaction. So networking. And then it will just give it the key points. This way it'll know this is the name, this is the type of interaction, and these are the key points. So we'll add the notes from our previous JSON module. See how neatly it's organized. Before we just add the results there, it would just be a JSON string. We can select exactly what information we want. We'll set this to 700 again. Temperature to 0.7. We don't want it to spit out nonsense if the temperature is too high. It goes on a tangent, so I just keep it 2.7. So with all our information now organized, suggestions have been created, we'll have to add it to our CRM. So we'll go to Google Sheets and find the add row. First, we'll add the person to our people sheet. Let's find the correct sheet, people, and let's map on the JSON value. So name, tag, connection, last catch up we'll leave empty, overdue we'll leave empty, company, email, phone, that's it. This is going to update our people sheet for the contact information. Next we'll want to update our interaction sheet. So add the same module again, so add row, and this time we'll just choose the interaction sheet. So we'll add the contact name here. We'll add the interaction, the notes, so-called notes. And now we'll add the action steps. So the action steps are coming from completion number 7. So we'll just map on the results. And date. For date, since we are looking for a specific format for Google Sheets, we'll add a formatting condition to this. So let's go here, format date function now, and let's pick the format as month / day / year. So this is the first one. Once that is done, Click here. Wow, look at this beauty. It's pretty simple. Let's do this again. Choose where to run module, all. Again, it's going to use the same recording. As now you can see, there's only two people here. So let's do it. Let's run this and see if it works. One, two, three. Wow. Within seconds, you don't even have to do anything. And boom, he's here. John Richardson, networking event. Edna Johnson is our connection again. Who is this Edna? I don't know. Last catch up is today's date. Not overdue. Company, email, phone mapped on here. Now we go to the interactions. This person has been added to the interactions. We have our John, the notes for John. He's a big fan of the Blue Jays, attends the game regularly, excited to get married next month. Let's see what ChatGPT gave us as action items. So, first action item it gave us for a follow-up email with an insightful comment. Send an email to John thanking him for the conversation, expressing your excitement about AI search for the future, mention learning about the beta testing, happy to connect with him for potential testers in his network. Okay, pretty good. Uh, Share relevant resources. So you could share articles and resources about AI search features and best practices for beta testing. It's not only to showcase your knowledge in the field, but also reinforce interest in his work. Pretty good. Plan a casual meetup. Since John is a Blue Jays fan, propose a casual meeting at a game at a local bar. And this person touch allows you to bond over shared interest. You can also suggest attending the game together after his wedding to celebrate to catch up. Pretty decent. Congratulations. You've just built the backbone of your AI powered networking system. Now let's talk about how to use it in real world scenarios. After an interaction, find a quiet spot to record your voice note. Open up your preferred voice note app and start with the structure. So, this is the structure I follow. Begin with the person's name and company, where you met them. If you had any mutual connections, mention the mutual connection's name. Summarize the key points of your discussion. Mention any personal details that they shared. Note any action items or next steps that you can take. Add the email and phone number at the end if they've provided that information, and then the automation system can take care of the rest for you. You can always enhance the system for your specific needs. You can add automatic follow-up reminders, as you can add a Google Calendar module. Configure it to create a calendar event for on follow-up dates in your CRM to ensure you never miss a follow-up. You can also integrate other tools like Gmail or a messaging app, so you can automatically send follow-up emails or messages to that contact from your CRM. What we've built here is the future of networking. And this is just the beginning. As AI technology continues to advance, the possibilities of enhancing professional relationships will only grow. Imagine AI that can suggest optimal times for follow ups, predict when connections are most likely to lead to fruitful connections, or even draft personalized outreach messages based on your interaction history. The level of personalization and follow up is what sets true networking pros apart. It's not about collecting the most business cards or making the most LinkedIn connections. It's about building genuine, memorable relationships. And with this new AI system, you're going to do this at scale. But let's address the elephant in the room. Doesn't this feel a bit impersonal? Quite the opposite. By freeing up your mind from stresses of trying to remember these small details, you're actually allowing yourself to be more present in each interaction. You can focus on the conversation, you can build rapport, you can really listen to what the person is saying because you know the AI assistant has your back to remember all the details later. But remember, at the heart of this technology is the human connection. Use the system as a tool to enhance your natural networking ability and take your professional relationships to new heights. As we wrap up, I want you to imagine the possibilities this opens up for your professional life. the deals you'll close, the partnerships you'll forge, and the opportunities you'll create. All because you had the right information at the right time. Now, I'd love to hear from you how you plan to use the system in your professional life. What other ways you can leverage AI to enhance your networking skills, how you modify the system for your needs. You can add extra columns, you can adjust the prompts for your specific needs. Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Let me know if you want me to build other systems like this or any additions you think I can add on to this. And hey, if you found this video helpful, don't forget to press the like button and subscribe to my channel for more systems like this that I built for my personal life and for my clients. Until next time, keep innovating, keep automating,